Welcome to Squig Bowl 26. Strap yourselves in, folks. We've got quite a game for you here, as Slade the Shade X is going to be taking his squigs and orcs into vampire counts. The vaunted undead defense will be led here by the Vampire Lord, regular Vampire Lord, nothing too fancy here. Just up on a dragon with kind of some basic spells and kit. With zombies as a front line, Feasters in the Dusk included. We've got Crypt Horrors to back them up, and a White King here with some Scab Scrath. And yeah, that's basically it. There are a couple of Blood Knights, yes, over here as well. I was like, where are they? There they are. Got some Savage Orcs here for the Green Tide of Slade. Yeah, the 8-peak loons, of course, coming in for a nice ambush from the side. Morglub's Mangy Marauders. Goblin Wolf Archer Regiment of Renown with that sweet armor piercing. And then, yes, 2 Colossal Squigs and 2 Mangler Squigs, plus the Night Goblin War Boss Squig Lord himself is going to charge on in. No caster here, no magic needed for the goblins and the squigs. Oh yes, absolutely beautiful as they charge in here on this hill. This little impassable terrain village here is going to block some movement, but it kind of ends up working out in the Green Tide's favor as they're able to get a nice flank in here with the Broken Tusk Mob. They're going to run in on these Blood Knights and take some pretty nasty damage. More Fanatics being unleashed here. Absolutely devastating. Those are the War Boss's Fanatics Pokeball himself, I believe. Yep, he's got the boss's loons. Some really nice AoE damage there. And yeah, the vampire counts, big, wide formation, kind of gets all bottled up in here on this engagement. Since the power of Slade's army, the main kind of killing power, the squigs all charged up here right into the center. We get to watch the Colossal Squigs chew on some Crypto Bros here. No doubt in absolute shambles. And the Wa being popped as well. Broken Tusk Mob gonna try and survive here. A lot of their unit models are kind of strung out between these two different engagements, but the 8-peak loons are able to get in and support quite nicely against the Blood Knights. They also fail to get the charge on the Savage Orcs from the rear. And Blood Knights are really in a sorry state right now. I'm gonna just say it. I really think they should be given the Grail Knight treatment. You know, vampire counts are going to be getting some updates in the summertime when the Nagash DLC is released. No doubt they'll do a rework then, and hopefully we don't have to wait all the way until then, but at the very least, it would be really nice if at that time, or prior to it, we could get a rework of Blood Knights, because they're just so bad right now. They're probably the worst sort of elite, like top-tier, quote-unquote, cavalry in the game. Just because they don't really compete, because they're not monstrous. They're just regular cavalry with, like, pretty decent stats. I don't know, Dragon Princes are also, at least they have an awesome Regiment of Renown that can really compete. But anyway, Vampire Lord's going to get fermented fungi down into this absolute doom blob, but at the same time, you know, it's not a given that the Green Tide's going to pull this thing out here. Squigs have taken quite a bit of damage, and the Night Goblin War Boss himself also taken some pretty substantial damage. Mangy Marauders managed to wheel around, get into a pretty good position here to take some high-value shots at the Vampire Lord. But let's see. Manglers will, of course, explode on death. And we'll do some nice AoE damage here, but the other, no, here it comes. Colossal Squigs, yeah, they've taken some pretty serious damage. Acid Burpa might even rout itself, but a lot of crumbling units here as well. The Blood Knights are just about to pop, and that's going to cause some leadership issues, kind of cascading. Crypto Bros getting Invocation of the Heck, trying to stay online. They don't have any other passive healing sources. There's no corpse carts, no mortis engines. So it's just a blender of squigs here. Well, let's check in on the Vampire Lord as my double-clicking mouse, which I'm needing to replace soon. Just keeps jumping the camera back. I don't know why that's even a feature. I'm going to see if I can disable that, honestly. But anyway, Yeah, the Acid Burpa does get routed here. Night Goblin War Boss kind of squeaks away. Honestly, the Vampire Lord could try and go out and kill him, but instead is going to throw down a Breath Attack. Ooh, the placement on that, a little bit rough. Would have been nice to get, like, directly down this line right here, but that's alright. Still got some damage out of it, and the Mangy Marauder's also getting some damage on him in the meantime, but the counter collapse from all the Savage Orcs, the light armor of the Crypto Bros, and everything else here means they're just getting absolutely slapped. Ooh, nice Scab Scrap, though. Comes into, does some good damage down the line. Yeah, if he could have lined up that other Breath Attack to just hit, like, all these units that were kind of blobbed up, plus the Scab's Breath, might have been able to actually break these Savage Orcs here and try and stabilize the situation. But as it is, Fossil Squig with the Savage support. Mangler is actually still alive here. Also, dude, watching the Manglers fight these Crypto Bros is just so chaotic, man. We kind of go from the Crypto Bros, like, point of view here. Just, that's all you see is just, how do you even fight that? Just try and time it. Whack one of the angry mouth balls when it comes around. Absolutely insane. Another nice Breath Attack there. Yeah, Savage Boys are pretty much done by now, but damage has been done. You see Invocation of Nehek on the White King as he tries to hold out. Tries to fight that Colossal Squig. But the Squigs do have anti-infantry. White King's not got the best chances, although Squig does have relatively low defense, but quite a bit more HP than him. Well, not quite a bit more at this point, but it's taking some damage. Vampire's going to charge in. The Mangler is just really making this hard. Ooh, a little matched combat animation there. Kind of blocked it with the flag. Let's watch some... Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, he wanted to barf all over the White King. Squigs are absolutely amazing. Anybody who doesn't like Squigs is probably not to be trusted. Yes. Yes. The Spite of the Bad Moon, absolutely devastating here. Yeah, giving that anti-large bonus to everything as they kind of fight in this round. Even some anti-large zombies. Summon zombies here? Well, no, not that. That's silly. They're on the other side. Could you imagine, though, if there was an anti-large effect for, like, maybe the Blood Dragon Lord? Give a little AoE anti-large? I don't know. Blood Dragon's already so good. He really doesn't need more buffs, but we'll see. Vampire Lords, honestly, there's no bad ones right now. But they're all decent if used well. But I am curious to see, new vampire characters in the future. Kind of what we get in terms of ability sets. Oh yeah, there goes the Vampire Lord himself. That'll be the end for the White King. And a lot of up close, not the craziest tactics. Mostly just a big blob fight with a couple of very cunning orcish flanks, but still. Just having some fun today. It's Super Bowl Sunday here in the U.S., and hopefully you all are watching the big game if you're here, or if you're not, doing something fun. If you're elsewhere in the world, enjoy your time regardless. And yeah, I hopefully you enjoyed this replay as well. Very fun stuff, honestly. 8-peak loons with some pretty good fanatics themselves, and even being matched up against heavy units. I mean, granted, they're Blood Knights, but still, they were able to perform quite well. Broken Tusk Mob had a little bit of a tougher time, but they ultimately were kind of just mass blocking largely. Mangy Marauders get mad value shooting at the Vampire Lord. And then the Manglers in that big center engagement, a couple of them get beat up without getting too much value. I guess this one has all its unit models alive at the end there, but yeah, the non-Regiment of Renown, Colossal Squig, 2,200 damage value, 17,000 damage dealt. Yeah, 16,000 damage, only about 1,000 damage value on the Acid Burpa, which is, it's decent. It kind of got targeted a little bit more heavily here by the vampire counts, kind of got itself into some bad situations. Crypto Bros, generally cost-effective, very solid choice, can't go too wrong with them. Ultimately, I think the Blood Knights is really where this player was let down, and again, if they were more like Grails, and he had two of the Sword and Shield ones to kind of act as guardians, something like this becomes really, really tough to deal with in many circumstances. Apologies, I'm still trying to kick this little thing that I attracted last week. But anyway, let's just quickly talk about this. So you're probably going to continue to hear me talk about this, so I apologize if you get sick of it. But just to kind of touch on a baseline here, the Grail Knights used to be in sort of a similar situation where Blood Hex are now, where they really just don't have a lot of great use cases. Well, I mean, they were good in the right circumstance, but they would struggle against a lot of things, right? So now, though, in the modern game, of course, they have anti-large. Well, I guess the Grail Knights are always had anti-large, but they have armor piercing, importantly. They have lower model count. They're more of like a heroic unit, right? Or comparable to like a monstrous cavalry. We think about something like, yeah, I mean, Empire, of course, has Demigryph Knights, which, again, 32 model count, right? Have, like, armor piercing, so even slightly less models than the Grail Knights, but still, sort of same idea, right? Where you use more of a heroic, monstrous cavalry. And with the vampire counts, like the Blood Knights right now sit at a little bit of a less cost, significantly less cost. In the case of the Sword and Shield one, 300 points is definitely a decent amount. But yeah, just worse stats all the way around, obviously. And more models, they have almost double the models, which means their HP per model is significantly lower, and they lose models fairly easily. Now, vampire counts have the rare ability to actually resurrect unit models, so it's not as much of an issue for them as it might be for other factions. But even still, just the fact that, I mean, these guys are literally like vampires that have drank the blood of a dragon, right? If I'm getting the lore right, something like that. It makes sense that they would be, you know, sort of akin to the knights who drank from the Holy Grail, right? And they would be more limited in number, but more powerful on an individual basis. So that's definitely something I would hopefully see, we all will hopefully see in the future for vampire counts, as Creative Assembly kind of turns their attention to the undead, updates them in some different ways. Please, heroic Blood Knights, I guess, is maybe what we're calling it. I don't know. Not a super catchy name. We'll work on that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I just, yeah, in general, want to thank you guys for your support. January is usually a little bit of a downtime for content creators on YouTube, just because the ad revenue is down significantly, and it's also a little bit of downtime for Total War Warhammer right now, as we kind of await some things in the future, but it doesn't mean we can't talk about what we want to see maybe in these updates, and so hopefully we'll address some of that going forward. I do plan to talk about, you know, Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings, and Vampire Coast as well. I don't know if Vampire Coast is going to get a rework now or sometime in the future. I mean, it would make... I mean, we'll see. I don't know if Creative Assembly has enough to pull off like multiple big faction reworks plus this huge DLC with the, you know, as we've seen with some of the past updates, big map updates and different things they're doing. So it's definitely a lot being put into it, but I don't know if that will leave resources available for like a full faction rework for like Vampire Coast, although they probably need it. I don't know also what units they really could add. That would be stretching into some territory that I'd probably need to do some research on. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.